What I'm about to show you is the opening to one of my favorite Dragon Ball games, which I personally believe is even better than fighterz. Now, before you go typing away and smacking the dislike button, hear me out first. And if you do take the time to listen to me, then I'll promise you a date with Android 21. Deal? Deal. Now, what do you think of that opening? Now, the cutscenes may not be so special, but that fucking music makes it just amazing. What? Still not enough to convince you to get about the game? Fine. Then let's talk about the story. Now, you may be asking, why the hell would you even talk about the story? It's just the same as the show. Unlike fighterz, which has an original story. Well, you see, Burst Limit actually has slight alterations to the story of Dragon Ball Z, and one of the examples, which I really was the reason I wanted to make the video in the first place, is the fight between Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza. With the transformation itself being just amazing because of one slight alteration. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a clip of the Super Saiyan transformation from fighterz with the dramatic opening, and then I'm going to have it compare against the transformation scene in this game, and I think it'd be a great idea for you guys to share me, tell me what you think in the comments, but I am going to explain why I personally believe it's a lot better. So I guess without further ado, I might as well show you the two transformations and the differences.
No, don't, Frieza! Go! How dare you! Hey, you'll pay for this! What? Curse you! Now I'm mad! Frieza! Are you ready?
Now, for a fighting game, fighterz version of the transformation serves its purpose very well, being short and it flowing perfectly into the gameplay. But the music in the transformation just won't shut up. Here, let me show you Burst Limit's version of the transformation, and I think you understand what I mean.
Wait! It's Frieza!
Incredible. I really thought I was going to die. Frieza was brought to the brink of death.
Krillin! Stop it! Frieza! Goku! No. You monster! How dare you! How dare you! innocent people, one after another. Even Krillin. Now, I'm truly angry! Frieza!
Now, the first main difference you would have noticed is that there is no music during this scene. Not only does this make Krillin's death heartfelt and less comical like it is in fighterz with all the music, blah 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 blah, um, but it also sucks you into the story, making you feel sorry for Krillin, terrified of Frieza, as well in some extent even Goku. I'd like to also add that the voice acting in this scene is perfect. Goku in this scene is so mad that and the voice actor captures that really well by making it sound like he's in the brink of tears, which I personally believe is perfect considering the subject matter of that scene. Now, I think this is a great opportunity to talk about this game's graphics and how I believe they're even better than fighterz. Now, don't get me wrong, fighterz looks amazing, but I want you to guess when Burst Limit came out just by looking at the visuals. Alright? I'll give you 5 seconds. Did you guess? Well, if you guessed 2008, you'd be correct. That's right, this game came out 10 years ago. Feel old yet? But it still holds up exceptionally well. You see, well, probably thanks to its art style. The developers of this game went for this semi-cell shaded look which is very appealing to look at. Almost makes it look like you're actually watching the show. When fighterz took an approach that makes it look like you're watching the manga moving, because that's what I think of when I look at fighterz. I actually think of the manga with all the steel frames and stuff. This one actually makes you think you're watching the anime itself because of that semi-cell shaded look. And I'd also like to add that like I said, it's very appeasing to look at. Unlike fighterz, which, don't get me wrong, fighterz is appeasing to look at when you look at a still frame, but when it's moving, you actually can feel a bit overwhelmed. There is so much little detail in there is so much little details in fighterz that in a still image look amazing, but in a moving picture can actually make you feel disoriented. Say you are playing the arcade mode on hard, the hyperbolic arcade mode on hard mode, and the AI decides to just get you stuck in a combo and then immediately gangbang you with all 3 of their characters' ultimates or supers. You can barely even tell what's going on because of all these things happening at once. Unlike this game, which has the perfect amount of detail so you don't actually get confused. Um, an example I'd actually like to say is when it comes to little details in this game, which you should see very soon, is that the characters' eyes and torsos, they have physics applied to them. So when you ever do your heavy smash, their eyes would bulge out like the show, and their stomach would stretch, and it looks amazing. So this game isn't as confusing to look at as fighterz. I mean, let's be honest. You've gotten confused and lost in all the chaotic action that's going on in fighterz, as in this game. It's very intrinsic. It can be slow, but that's the beauty of it. Here I'm going to show you the physics applied to the body in 3, 2, 1. Boom. See how the eyes are bulging out as well as his mouth? That's what I call perfect amount of little detail. Not too chaotic, but a perfect mix.